perfect full-body workout for people over 50. Do it 3 times a week and say goodbye to muscle weakness. Rest assured, all the exercises shown here can be done from the comfort of your own home. No gym required. If this content is helping you, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new video. That is why today you will see 8 exercises that together form a complete and efficient workout to target every muscle group in the body at home, safely and with real results for anyone over 50 who wants to say goodbye to muscle weakness once and for all. Before we get started, please tell us in the comments your name and the city you are watching from. We would love to know. Exercise number 1. Overhead shoulder press with improvised weights. The shoulder is one of the most complex joints in the human body, and for that very reason, it is one of the areas that suffers most from aging when it does not receive proper training. Strong shoulders are directly responsible for your ability to live independently after 50. Reaching objects on high shelves, carrying weight, getting dressed without difficulty, raising your arms above your head without pain. The overhead shoulder press simultaneously activates all 3 portions of the deltoid, the anterior, the medial, and the posterior, while also recruiting the trapezius and the triceps as supporting muscles, making it one of the most complete exercises for the upper body. It is worth emphasizing that the balance between these 3 portions is essential, not only for aesthetics but for joint health and posture over the years. Do not neglect the posterior portion of the deltoid in particular. It is the most forgotten, but it is precisely the one that contributes most to upright posture and long-term joint protection. For those who do not have dumbbells at home, there are great alternatives. Plastic bottles filled with sand or water, paint cans, backpacks with books, or grocery bags all work very well. To perform the exercise, sit in a chair with your back straight, hold the weights at shoulder height with your palms facing forward, and push upward until your elbows are almost fully extended without locking them. Lower in a controlled manner without dropping the weight, and keep your core engaged throughout the entire movement to protect your lower back. The main errors to avoid are arching the lower back while pressing, which strains the spine, and using a weight so heavy that it compromises your range of motion. If you are leaning your torso backward with every repetition, the weight is too heavy and needs to be reduced immediately. Do 3 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions with 45 to 60 seconds of rest between them. People with a rotator cuff injury or shoulder bursitis should consult a doctor before starting. Exercise number 2, push-up. The push-up is one of those exercises that seems too simple to be taken seriously but delivers surprising results when performed with correct technique. It works the chest, the triceps, the anterior deltoid, and also demands core stabilization, making it one of the most complete and functional movements available for training at home with no equipment whatsoever. To perform it correctly, place your hands on the floor slightly wider than shoulder width apart, keep your body completely straight from your head to your heels, and lower your chest toward the floor by bending your elbows at an angle of approximately 45 degrees, neither flared out like a tia nor tucked in against your body. Push back up in a controlled manner without locking your elbows at the top. A detail that makes all the difference in protecting your shoulders is keeping your shoulder blades retracted throughout the entire movement, with your shoulders slightly down and back. This distributes tension more evenly and protects the joint, something especially relevant for people over 50. When the exercise starts to feel too easy, progress to placing your feet on a chair for the decline version, which considerably increases activation of the upper chest, which is precisely the area most difficult to develop and the one that contributes most to a balanced appearance of the torso. The main errors to avoid are letting your hips drop or rise too high, breaking the alignment of your body, and flaring your elbows excessively out to the sides, which places unnecessary stress on the shoulder joint. Do 3 sets of 8 to 15 repetitions according to your current level. People with acute pain in the wrists or shoulders should prefer the incline version, which significantly reduces the load on those joints. Exercise number 3, resistance band row. If there is one muscle group that people neglect most after 50, it is the back. And the consequences are direct and visible: poor posture, chronic pain, progressive kyphosis, and general instability of the spine. The resistance band row is the best option for working this region at home, as it provides progressive resistance with very low injury risk, unlike barbell exercises that demand axial loading on the spine. To perform it, anchor the band to something fixed at waist height. The base of a closed door works perfectly. Use a neutral grip with your palms facing each other, as this position is more natural for the elbow and the shoulder, and ensures greater activation of the latissimus dorsi. Pull your elbows back, thinking about squeezing your shoulder blades together at the end of the movement. Hold for 1 second in that position and return in a controlled manner without letting the band yank your shoulders forward abruptly. Controlling this return phase is essential for taking advantage of the eccentric phase of the exercise and maximizing back muscle development. Regular practitioners can notice significant improvement in posture and a reduction in lower back pain within the first few weeks of consistent practice. The main errors to avoid are using a swinging motion in your torso to pull, which completely removes the work from the back, and not completing the scapular retraction at the end, which greatly reduces activation of the latissimus dorsi. Do 3 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions. People with severe lumbar disc herniation in an acute phase should perform this exercise in a seated position for greater safety. Exercise number 4. Bicep curl with improvised object. The biceps is a muscle that everyone wants to develop, but few people realize how essential it is in everyday life. Opening doors, carrying bags, picking up objects and lifting them to eye level, all of this depends directly on the strength of the biceps brachii. For those who do not have dumbbells at home, the same alternatives from the first exercise work very well. Plastic bottles filled with sand, paint cans, or backpacks with books are all great resistance options. To perform the exercise, stand or sit with your back straight. Hold the weight with your palm facing up and your elbow fixed at your side. That detail about the elbow is crucial. Keeping the elbow stationary throughout the entire movement is what ensures the biceps is actually being worked. If the elbow moves forward with each repetition, the shoulder takes over the work and the biceps is practically taken out of the exercise. Raise the weight toward your shoulder in a controlled manner and lower it slowly, resisting gravity on the way down. This eccentric phase is where a large part of the stimulus for muscle growth happens and is frequently wasted by those who simply drop the weight after each repetition. Make the lowering phase last at least 2 to 3 seconds. If you feel discomfort in the elbow during the movement, the hammer curl, with your palm facing inward, is an excellent alternative that better distributes the load between the biceps and the brachialis. The main errors to avoid are swinging the torso backward to help raise the weight, clear sign that the load is too heavy, and allowing the elbow to move forward during the upward phase, which greatly reduces the recruitment of the biceps. Do 3 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions per arm. People with elbow tendinitis in an acute phase should reduce the load and avoid full extension of the arm at the bottom of the movement. Before we continue, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Having consistent access to science-based information is what will help you progress with long-term health in the world of exercise. Exercise number 5. Plank. The plank is by far the best bodyweight exercise for the abdominals available to those who train at home, and science confirms this clearly. A study published in the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy demonstrated that the plank activates the transversus abdominis, the deepest layer of the abdominal muscles, far more effectively than the traditional crunch. And why does this matter so much for people over 50? The classic crunch still compresses the vertebral discs during execution, which is especially concerning in an age group where spine health must be an absolute priority. The plank, on the other hand, strengthens the core without any compressive load on the spine. To perform it, rest your forearms on the floor with your elbows below your shoulders. Lift your body to form a straight line from your head to your heels, and hold the position while breathing normally. It sounds simple, but you will feel your abdominals working with intensity within the first 20 seconds. For beginners, the version with knees on the floor is an excellent starting point, and the progression to the full position happens naturally as strength increases. The main errors to avoid are letting your hips drop, which overloads the lower back, raising your hips too high, which removes tension from the core, and holding your breath, which is perhaps the most common mistake in makes the exercise much harder than it needs to be. Once you can hold the position for 60 seconds with good form, add more sets or reduce the rest between them to continue progressing. Do 3 sets of 20 to 60 seconds depending on your level, resting 30 seconds between them. People with acute lower back pain or a herniated disc in crisis should substitute this with the dead bug variation, which is equally effective and much safer under those conditions. Exercise number 6. Glute bridge with elevated feet. The gluteus maximus is the largest muscle in the human body. This fact, which most people simply ignore, has enormous implications for training and for overall health. Strong glutes have nothing to do with aesthetics alone. They stabilize the pelvis, protect the lower back, improve posture, and are essential for maintaining the ability to walk, climb stairs, and get up independently over the years. Because it is the largest muscle in the body, a well-developed gluteus also generates a high excess post-exercise oxygen consumption effect, meaning your body continues burning calories for hours after you finish your workout, even at rest. The version with elevated feet is more effective than the traditional bridge on the floor because it increases the range of motion, generating greater tension in the gluteus maximus throughout the entire execution. To perform it, lie on your back on the floor, rest your heels on a chair, couch, or bed, and push your hips upward by strongly contracting your glutes at the top. Hold for 2 seconds before lowering. Lower in a controlled manner without fully resting your hips on the floor between repetitions to maintain constant muscle tension. The main errors to avoid are using your lower back to rise instead of your glutes, which you will notice if you feel your lower back working more than your glute region, and not squeezing the glutes firmly at the top of the movement, which greatly reduces effectiveness. If you feel your lower back working too much, reduce the height of your feet until you find the correct position. Do 3 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions. People with acute pain in the knee or hip should return to the version with feet on the floor. Exercise number 7. Bulgarian split squat. The Bulgarian split squat is one of the most effective unilateral exercises for the quadriceps available for home training. And the characteristic of working one leg at a time is precisely what makes it so valuable for people over 50. Strength imbalances between the two sides of the body are extremely common in older adults and represent one of the leading causes of falls and injuries. When one side is stronger than the other, the body compensates in ways that gradually overload joints over time, and this happens silently until it manifests as pain or injury. The Bulgarian split squat corrects this imbalance far more efficiently than the traditional bilateral squat, because it forces each leg to bear and control the load independently. To perform it, rest the top of your back foot on a chair or couch. Keep your front foot at a distance that allows the knee to remain approximately above the ankle as you descend, and squat in a controlled manner by lowering your back knee toward the floor without quite touching it. Keep your torso slightly inclined forward and your core engaged throughout the movement. In the beginning, use a wall or a chair for balance support if needed, as proprioception improves quickly with practice, and within a few sessions the support will no longer be necessary. As you gain confidence and strength, hold bottles in your hands to gradually increase the difficulty. The main errors to avoid are letting the front knee travel excessively beyond the line of your toes, which stresses the joint, and descending too quickly, wasting the eccentric phase of the movement and increasing the risk of losing your balance. Do 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions per leg, resting 45 to 60 seconds between each set. People with serious knee or hip problems should substitute this with a chair squat. Exercise number 8, calf raise. The calf is often called the second heart of the human body, and that is no exaggeration. The gastrocnemius muscle functions as a pump that drives blood back up to the heart against the force of gravity, making it essential for circulatory health and for the prevention of varicose veins and thrombosis, conditions that are far more common after 50. Beyond this vital circulatory function, strong calves are directly linked to balance and stability while walking, significantly reducing the risk of falls, which are one of the greatest public health concerns for this age group. It is a muscle composed predominantly of slow-twitch fibers, which means it responds better to longer sets with more repetitions than most other muscle groups. To perform it, stand with light support against a wall or the back of a chair. For balance, rise onto your toes as high as possible and lower in a slow and controlled manner. The lowering phase should last at least 3 seconds, as the eccentric phase is the most important part of this exercise and is frequently wasted when people simply let the heel drop. To increase the range of motion and the difficulty, perform it on a stair step, allowing the heel to drop below the level of the step. This greater range of motion generates far more muscular stimulus and is where regular practitioners tend to observe the greatest improvements in calf development. A tip that few people apply: varying the position of the feet between parallel, slightly turned out, and slightly turned in across different sets allows you to target distinct portions of the muscle, making development more complete over time. The single leg version is even more effective for those who already have a solid strength base. The main errors to avoid are not rising high enough, which reduces the range of motion, and lowering too quickly, wasting the eccentric phase that is the great differentiator of this exercise. Do 3 sets of 15 to 20 repetitions. People with plantar fasciitis in an acute crisis should avoid the stair-step version. But the workout does not stop there. It is time for the bonus exercise that will take this workout from good to truly complete. Bonus exercise: mountain climber. If you made it this far and completed all the previous exercises, congratulations. You have already worked your shoulders, chest, back, biceps, core, glutes, quadriceps, and calves. The workout is nearly perfect, but there is still one essential ingredient missing to make it truly complete: cardiovascular stimulus. And the mountain climber is exactly the ideal exercise to close this session because it does not choose a single muscle to work. While each previous exercise had a primary focus, the mountain climber acts as a great integrator. It works the core and abdominals, intensely demands shoulder stabilization, activates the quadriceps, and also raises your heart rate efficiently without heavy impact on the joints. For anyone over 50, having an exercise that combines strength, stability, and cardiovascular conditioning in a single movement is a true privilege of smart training. To perform it, start in a high plank position with your arms extended and your hands below your shoulders, and alternately drive one knee at a time toward your chest as quickly as you can without losing body alignment. Your hips must remain level at all times, neither rising nor swaying from side to side, and your core must be engaged throughout the entire execution. The faster the movement, the greater the cardiovascular stimulus. At a slower and more controlled pace, the focus shifts to abdominal activation and shoulder stabilization. This versatility is what makes the mountain climber an exercise that adapts perfectly to any fitness level. For beginners, start at a moderate pace and gradually increase the speed as your conditioning improves over the coming weeks. The main errors to avoid are letting the hips rise, which removes the work from the abdominals and overloads the shoulders, and letting the hips sway from side to side with each stride, indicating that the core is not properly engaged during execution. Do 3 sets of 30 to 45 seconds with 30 seconds of rest between them. People with acute pain in the shoulders or wrists should substitute with high knees in place, which fulfills the cardiovascular function without requiring weight bearing on the upper limbs. If you enjoyed this and also want to discover stretches practiced by the Japanese to undo years of poor posture and body neglect, we have a video appearing on the screen right now showing each one of them in detail. Make sure to check it out. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and may God bless you, my friend.